Hey, welcome to another episode of GeekOutdoors.com. And we're doing an episode of Mobile Gamer today, and we're looking at Superman. We take things for granted now when it comes to the whole comic book phenomenon, mainly in movies. But comic books have been around for a long time, and also video games based upon comic books. And so, one of the ones that I remembered in the arcades back then was this one right here, Superman. It was actually made by Taito. And back then it was all about, in the arcades, it's all about fighting games and also shoot 'em ups and racing games. Those are the three primary categories of any arcade game. And Superman, it took basically everybody's favorite beloved superhero and made a action game out of fighting game. And this one was a little bit different, I would say, mainly because it had a comic book character, a very well-known comic book character. Now, this one is nowhere near as bad as the Nintendo 64 version, not even close, Superman 64, because it was a different type of game. And what I liked about this game was it's very simple. You're flying, you could kick, you could punch, and if you hold down the punch button, it would power up, and then you could just shoot them with a super blast. So this was a really simple game, very easy game. I wouldn't say it was one that was memorable in terms of one that I would actually go back to over and over, but it was memorable for the simple fact that it was a comic book video game, an arcade game. And if you played as a second character, because you could play as two players simultaneous, you did play as a red Superman, which is kind of cool. That just looks cool, and it does give you elements to break and so forth. And I'm not really sure what these enemies are, like what planet they're from, but obviously they're not human; they're aliens, so they might be from Krypton or something like that. And like I said, the play mechanics are very simple, but I just like the fact that I could fly, be Superman, and use my superpowers. Now, Taito, they were definitely a force in the arcades, although not at the same level as say like Capcom, Konami, or Sega. However, they definitely had a presence in the arcades, and they're primarily stuck to games like this. And what I like that Taito did was they tried to change up their play style. Like, first you start off as side scrolling, now you're flying up, you're Superman again. And the graphics here, they were good at the time. They were not very varied though, but they did a good job. And even with Superman, you could clearly tell that that's Superman. But he actually has some nice animations. You could see his cape, and wow, I wish there was some more variety. But just the fact that we got the game, that was pretty cool. And it wasn't really a difficult game, as you can see. Um, and I'm not sure who he is. And for this game, as long as you had enough quarters, all you have to do is just keep punching or kicking them, and that's it. So like I said, this game was not about. It really wasn't focused on variety. It was more like, hey man, I'm Superman, um, and that's about it. Let me go ahead and destroy these enemies, these aliens. Oh yeah, yeah. So it was pretty cool. I mean, there was I might do a review on the Batman arcade version too. And here you're actually flying, and you actually have your heat beam too, from your eyes. And so this was, I think, the thing that really got me, in terms of like that kept my attention, because like I said, the characters themselves, they're not really varied, but Tato really worked to try to incorporate a lot of Superman's powers in really interesting ways, such as this one. So that is it for this episode of the Mobile Gamer. If you remember playing Superman, or you had any comic book related games that you enjoyed, leave them below, and share them with everybody else. And if it is something that you remember in the arcades and something that you want me to play, you leave those in the comments below as well. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on another episode. Thanks for checking out this episode. And as always, if you like these videos, be sure to click on the subscribe button. And for full written content, audio content, and additional geek stuff, head over to geekoutdoors.com, and I'll see you outdoors on the very next episode.